Next Play Investors. What's the next play?
Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Next Play Investors. It's the Sunday show where we talk about investment, stocks, crypto, business, insurance, just talk about life and group of friends and group of people that get together every Sunday to be able to make sure that we can actually learn and grow and talk and bond with each other while we at the comfort of our homes and being able to make things happen. We definitely want to invite y'all in and invite y'all out and be able to see to join the group and be able to share in with us every week. So we definitely want to make sure that if you actually get a chance to come in and join in. We're gonna get everything started, get over with everybody else, and see exactly what's going on, and then we're gonna go from there and see what's going and make sure everybody's all good. So catch us every week from 7:30 to 9, and we'll actually make sure you'll be able to get in and have a good time.
Trying to make it do what it do.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. My question of the day is, what does everybody think about Palantir right now? Palantir.
I hadn't heard anything. I did know we was talking about Palantir maybe about 3 months ago when it was like $19 a share, I think.
Yep.
And they predicted it to go to like $100 a share. And
Yeah, it is quite the opposite right now.
ooh, Frank wasn't gonna like that because he's a big Palantir follower.
Hey,
And
man,
I
I'm gonna say
know
I'm a follower. I never jumped in, but I'm thinking Palantir long haul. And right now, Palantir's getting beat down. People are talking about it hitting $5.
Like, time to look at it. I mean, right now, man, for the stocks from what I've been looking at, it's going to be a lot of opportunity coming up.
Yeah, there's a
man.
whole lot of beat down happening right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of it's going to present a lot of opportunity. So, for a whole bunch of people to jump in some stuff if they know, if they pretty much know what they want.
That's why I threw it in here, just to see if anybody's done their due diligence on Palantir, knows what Palantir's about.
yeah. But they're so quiet. Go ahead, Frank.
I mean, the thing is, Palantir now is getting into the metaverse. They're actually gonna be they're actually part of a big time player. So we finna start seeing them kind of start making a lot of action on a lot of those secretive moves, because a lot of their platform is a part. They're being utilized more now, like in the creation of some of this metaverse stuff and all these different worlds, because they can create the data points. You see what I mean? And so
yeah, well, that's why those of us that believed in Palantir kind of knew. I mean, Palantir's involved in almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Palantir is anything regarding data and data structures. Palantir kind of is a part of. And so, yeah, I mean, anything that's moving forward, just like the metaverse, there's a lot of stuff that Palantir is involved in that we just don't know about because they're the silent partner.
Exactly.
They're the white gloves, the silent partners.
Yeah.
So that's why I've always looked at Palantir as being a long play, but I never looked at them as an opportunity because the hype was crazy this summer on Palantir.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's too much hype.
What's the ticker on Palantir? Anybody know?
Yeah, PTLR.
PTLR. Okay. No, it can't be. Gotta be something else.
It's PLTR then. PLTR.
Yeah, that's it. Palantir Technologies.
I'm sorry, I had it.
It's okay.
So, you know what? I'm not gonna let both of my brothers keep pronouncing the name wrong, because we on live and people laugh at you. It's Plantier.
Plantier. Okay, Plantier.
Yeah, Plantier. You know what I mean?
So
that's not, a lot of people don't pronounce it that way. A lot of people pronounce it Palantir.
So all the when I hear it
people confuse it with the bike.
Yeah, because the reason why, like I said, when I hear it on news outlets, they call it Plantier. So I mean, we tomato. You know what I mean? I just want to let y'all know that I thought that I've heard and always heard that they call it Plantier.
I'll log in now, see what's going on.
Okay. Well, we did look at, since we're talking about Plantier.
Yeah, we talked about it
a while back. Let's see if I can bring it up. Let's bring it up and look at it and see, what we were talking back a few months ago. Try to bring it up and maybe take a look at it. Okay. Bada boom. Y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So it looks like we charted up Palantir back in we charted up back in August of 21. And back then we were looking at it. It was around 2140. Whoa! Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
It was 2140 back then.
Yep.
And now it is
around 15 last I checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at 1601.
So
looks like
this stock debuted at like $40-something.
Now let's go back and look at it. So it IPO'd back in what's that? November 20, around November 20, and it ran up as high as Wow.
$40.
Yeah, $40.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
And this is a government company, right?
no, they're not a government
No.
company. They're
Private.
data. They're actually was supposed to be the competition to AWS. Like that's what they were supposed to be. AWS is a data like a lot of
Cloud
people don't.
services.
AWS is all about data and cloud services, like Reggie said. AWS is that's why when you watch football now, you see all the AWS commercials because they're collecting data points because they have the most traffic over all the cloud-based systems. When you look at Amazon, what they did as a company, they created a way for their servers never to go down so people can always be able to shop worldwide. And so they got the most data on how to build out massive systems and keep them secure. So AWS is a part of Amazon, but it's another company, and all they do is data mine and create data points and create and do cloud services. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
AWS is more the reason why Amazon stock is
Yeah.
doing as well as it's done.
Yeah.
It's not the shopping platform.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
and so Plantier, they're the same because they're helping a lot of the EV companies and a lot of the newer companies get into the ball game. And so what you have is you're gonna have like Plantier providing all of like the software and the resources to track everything for these smaller companies and crypto companies. So and this is what Plantier basically specializes in. So the price of the stock right now is really because I think it's more of it's a something to watch for a long time because once all these technologies like once all the technologies of these new companies start really actually rolling, here you're gonna see a lot in 2022 and 2023. You're gonna start to see people rely more on Plantier services. Most people never knew about AWS. Like most companies, because you can't actually physically invest in it. You have to invest in Amazon, just like Reggie just said. You see what I'm saying? And so most people never, if you ain't on the networking side, like digital side, or like you're not a techie, you never even encountered AWS. You just hear about it, but most people don't really know what it does. So Plantier is just that. You know what I'm saying? It's a new data mining company. But the thing about Plantier, it's kind of like I think me and somebody was talking one day. You got to have competition. You see what I'm saying? And so Plantier came into the game, and like these government contracts and all that, they started being able to win them because AWS was really winning everything. AWS beat Microsoft, all these people out. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're really hearing about on Amazon with the Pentagon and all this. Like Amazon actually runs pretty much most of the government. You see what I'm saying? And so Plantier came out, and they're pretty much the same thing, but they're running data mining for the new EV, the crypto companies, all that stuff because and the government, but and that's why you're gonna see a discrepancy in price. But the thing is, a lot of people don't disclose really what they do, and that's what really dropped the stock price down because people could never figure out what they did. You know what I'm saying? Everything was real secretive. Everything was like, oh, we don't really, you know what I'm saying? Talk about what we do, and so people they bought into it because it was really hot, but then because they didn't hear financial porn from the media outlets, it's don't die down, but they making a lot of money. They still in the news a lot because now they don't got on the crypto world with the metaverse and the EV technology. So just like Reggie said, what else you heard, Reggie?
Well, one thing, Kathy Wood just bought like 45 million for ARK, and let's see what else. Trying to see. There's another reason that I thought I'd throw this at you guys, which is I'm like, man, this looks like something I'm definitely gonna DCA into because it may have further to go down because that's what it is. There's a number of the bigwigs have made new price structures for it, that are saying that by the end of the first quarter, it could be down to $5. Now, a lot of people don't believe that, but they're DCAing into it. I could see it maybe even go down to about as much as 10.
It's possible. I know you mentioned Kathy Woods and her buying into it. I know a lot of people, a lot of hedge funds and big investors are shorting the ARK fund. They got a lot of puts inside data that I've been tracking, and I was a part of the ARK fund on an option, and I sold out after taking about an 80% loss on it. And so I know, right? You whistle on that one, buddy.
Yes.
But it's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
So, like Frank was saying, you don't know a whole lot about them, and like where it's at right now in this range, this $15 range.
Yeah.
Because the company is so new, you can see the
keep bouncing off of it.
Well, it already broke the price.
It already broke the price.
1707 was the lowest price it's been since it came out. See, it rose up here. If you look at the chart right here, when it IPO'd, it ran all the way up to $40-something right here. It never came back down to anything lower than 1707.
But your trending line is still going in a downward. It's still
down.
But the thing, so let's take this into consideration. They haven't had to disclose. They don't actually have a product like that they sell. You see what I'm saying? So like they hit all their revenues. They hit out like the craziest part is they only missed like 2 quarters last year of their revenues, and they haven't and they don't have actual product. They selling the product and helping people build a product, and they build out systems. So you got to know that this company is going to be real big in the future. So like what my boy Reggie is saying, like they're gonna average in. Like I'm still heavy on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that it's gonna be something big because they're able to like it's a company that came from nowhere and won all these contracts and got involved with all these people. How did this company even exist and nobody knew? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not like anything's been put out. We'd know, and especially Frank would know, since he owns part of it, if they had lost any of these contracts.
Yeah,
they haven't lost the contracts.
Yeah,
I think that this might be another too big to fail model. And remember last week I was talking about sell the pickaxe. The people that the people that are involved. These guys are the pickaxes. Because all these big companies, we're talking about, like especially like the EV companies, like NIO, all these guys, but Tesla, they are compiling information for all these EV companies and things like that to further their objective of trying to beat Tesla at autonomous driving. So that's just one of the things that they're up to.
Like the Palantir is behind the first airplane that's supposed to be EV
electric
airplane. They're providing the technology for the company to develop the EV airplane. Like they're like, this is one of these companies. I think that it may be early, and you know what I mean, like for everybody, because I've been on it for like a year. It may be early for it, but I think it's a safe. If you're gonna risk your money, I think it's gonna start. I think you're going to see a trend change in it once the EVs start to really roll as we get closer and closer, because everything now is going to battery. You know what I'm saying? Like battery technology, autonomous technology. Like they've already had, like UPS and FedEx just tested vehicles driving. You see what I mean? Autonomous vehicles. So you got a whole lot of data that needs to be mined, and Palantir is supposed to be one of the best at mining data. I mean, they went from private to public, and nobody still don't know what they do.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think Palantir might be what the thing is nobody had the ability to jump on a baby AWS because Amazon was already big. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
So how old is this company though? How old is it?
Don't nobody know.
Nobody know.
So okay, how much is the value? What is the value of it?
I think it opened up in 2003, according to this note. It's owned by a guy by the name of Alexander C. Carr, Joseph Lonsdale, Stephen Cohen, Nathan Dale. Greetings.
So did they release an IPO on it or something?
Yeah, the IPO came back out in November of 20.
Okay. All right. So is it over evaluated and now it's finally making that pullback?
This is a company that the value doesn't match it because they don't actually disclose a whole lot. So
could that be part of the pullback though? That's what I'm saying. I mean, with all these investors becoming more and more savvy and doing more and more research, I mean, that's just like there's a whole lot of them. They come out, they're high on IPOs, and then they have that drastic pullback. This could be the evaluation that the price point in which it settles back in, and this may very well be it. You know, some people are waiting for the pullback lower.
That's a good point because that's what I'm saying that too, because I've been tracking it for a long time, and it is going I think this is going to be from the data I've seen and what I think as my profession, because this has been something I've been watching for a long time. I think once it gets it's kind of like when you open a business.
Yeah.
The first year or two.
Yeah, you right now.
People trying to figure out what you're gonna do. And then with them never telling any of their information, and it's just started, the information about what the company does has just started to trickle out in the last 6 months. You see what I'm saying? So I think that it had a lot of hype. They don't made it this far, then dropped but so far. And then I think just like any business cycle, they're gonna start really being able to trout their product because they're growing really fast. The price stock, I know it follows. We talk about price, it follows the value of the stock and what they think people worth. But their revenues, they making money. If you go pull up their revenue charts, they make money. They make money now. They're not losing money.
I just saw all red just a minute ago. On the go right there.
Well, that right there. You
see if you look at the company, they up until November they were in an uptrend. No, I'm sorry, right here.
Downtrend. All that's down.
Up until November they were in an uptrend. So they've only been in the downtrend. Let me see. 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
And that's the 2 quarters.
Now it's possible that if they're following anything like the Dow's been in the downtrend for the past 30 days.
Yeah.
The market's been down.
But it says down 37, 37.5% within a year.
So this is the reason that I'm looking at it now is because I let all the hype and stuff dissipate. I feel bad for these people that bought it on the hype because just like everything has, a pump and dump cycle.
Emotional buying.
It got dumped, but if you take a look, since about April, May, it's kind of been trading sideways. If you look at the big picture, you see your ups, you see your downs, and they're equal. Okay, they're relatively equal. So it's been trading sideways. So the way
Stacey, is that a week chart? Who got this chart?
That's a day chart. I could
still be on a week, right?
Let's do this. It's going to be probably close to the same style, though. See, it's still trading sideways.
Sideways,
yep. Exactly. So my philosophy is when you have something that you believe in and it's trading sideways, that's when you DCA in because you'd never know, exactly when it's going to pop because it always takes what do you call it? A catalyst. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether it's a quarter earnings drop or whether it's an unemployment drop or whether it's a big technological news story, something like that. something drops, that becomes the catalyst. And if you're already DCA'd in, nice and easy, I'm not taking my rent money and throwing it at it. But again, we are approaching sandwich money. Remember what I was talking about last week, sandwich money? This is about sandwich money. So now we're at a situation where this is a big company that has a ton of upside that could be the next Skynet. I mean, who knows? 20 years from now, we might be talking about Palantir being the end of civilization, in and of itself. But
man, that's too much to be watching, eh?
It could be Skynet, but that's what I mean. They're that deep into tech, and that's my background. That's what I know, and I invest in things that I know. You guys already know what I look at. It's not like I look at, I don't look at things like the restaurant industry or travel, cruise, things like that, because that's not what I know. But I've been in tech all my life, and I can kind of smell good tech, when I'm around it. You know what I mean? So I invest. This is a high conviction company for me. I just never invested in it because it wasn't in the realm of my, let me see what's going on. So I've had it in the corner of my eye for a minute, and now it's moving towards center. Again, I'm not looking at big money. I might just throw a couple $100 at it by the end of the month.
Lots of money. A
couple $100 will get you a handful of stock. As opposed to a couple $100, which ain't gonna make a dent in Tesla or in Amazon or in the big company. You see what I'm getting at?
Well, one of the things about this company, one of the things about this company too, like they're finna start push. Like we always talk about financial porn and how they do the media. You're going to see them start to kind of push their whole campaign. Because they really involved with a lot of companies. Like they really did a lot of partnerships and deals this year, even though their revenue down. So a lot of that, a lot of that space is got to do with all EV stuff. You know what I mean? So you get a situation where when you looking at Palantir, you get a situation where Palantir itself is starting to do business just like AWS is. You see what I mean? So you're going to see the fight come in because you only really got IBM and AWS and Microsoft. You see what I mean? But they develop their own platforms and everything. Palantir is more of a system developer. We'll develop a system to track you to do this, to be able to provide the data so you can go in and make these changes. Like one of the things, if you go on their website, and I think I showed it on here last year, was the fact that one of the companies that created the airplane, they figured out that through the data that they can add this one extra blade to the fan for the airplane to fly, and it was more efficient through the data. So they know how they're actually able to do all kinds of things with data that most people can't really that most people haven't actually thought of, even with when you're looking at AWS. AWS has a lot. I see Stacy on there. Share that for me, man.
I already did.
So yeah. Let me take myself out. So this is Palantir, and they got videos on there to show what they have already been doing and for how they actually innovated with data. And it goes back into the battlefield, all of this. Even I think this is just me. You notice what you see on the screen? I don't know if a lot of people just saw it with them, like the scientists.
Yeah.
I think they got something to do with the data mining for Corona, because it's like I was reading some stuff from one of my places I visit on the internet, and people in other countries, their phones actually have software on it to track if they've been in contact with people with COVID.
Yeah, it's like that in Colorado. When I went there, I downloaded the app, and it would let me know if it was what was it called, a rating. It would it was like let me know if I was in a dangerous, like highly, I guess
But
area that you can contract it or whatever. But they had it. The app worked over there. Over here, it don't work though.
Yeah. So yeah, Foundry is their go-to. That's the operating system that I'm talking about that they putting up against AWS and Microsoft and IBM. The Foundry is that, and they're part of like all this logistical stuff and understand. So the craziest part, guess who we was talking about? Just because you flowing by, we was talking about how the trucking, the shipper that I can't think of the name of it right now. Can't think of the name of the shipper. They use
PLS Logistics.
I can't think of the name of the logistical company. Shoot.
Oh, you meant that company that's big time, but don't nobody know the name. What's the name of that company?
The name of it. That's who they partner with them too. They actually have a partnership. Can't nobody think of the name of it, and all of us got all this information.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
Hold on, I got it. Why Stacy doing that? I got it. Cause shipping company.
What is that? I believe we got it on our chart in our charts too.
On our chart.
Yeah, we got it in our charts.
I think it's PLS. I thought
it's P something. I know that. I thought it was PX something though.
I think it's PLS. I may be wrong, but well, the company, as far as the market cap is 32.1 billion. They got 2 billion shares that are outstanding. The earnings per share is a negative 0.28. They pay no dividends. And estimated dividend dates, they don't have any dividend dates. So not a whole lot of information about them. I think they had an earnings report. That's probably what dropped the stock. And the way it looks, it says that it's underperforming in the market, but the market itself is going down. So it could be a situation where, when the tide goes down, everything goes down with it. The ships and all that stuff sink down some. So maybe it's just following the market. But the company itself is worth a lot of money. 32 billion, which is a lot.
And nobody know nothing about it.
No one.
Nobody don't know what they do except for that Foundry. Foundry is that's what they make. Like everything they do is about Foundry. Like if you click on Explore Foundry, that's what that Foundry is a whole operating system that I'm not gonna say I hate. Just like Reggie said, it's truly Skynet. You really go read some of the stuff they can do? Yeah, it's crazy. Like they can track all kinds of stuff just through the simplest forms. We ain't even gonna I can't really even explain it on here because it's really crazy because you have to know what they actually create, and you look at the videos and stuff that they do. It's all about modeling.
We could probably call Palantir and they could predict when their stock is gonna go up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the market makers, right? I'm just looking at the option chain, right? And so if you want to run a little short option play on Palantir, they got, where is it at? Right here on a January 21st option. Like say for instance, right now I think it's around $15 or something like that. But you got 12,193 people are interested in buying a call, meaning the stock price is going to go up to $17. So in the option world, that's pretty decent, so to speak, pretty decent. However, you on the put side, right? You got, meaning the stock's going to go down some more. You got 45,488 people interested in doing a put versus the
Buy.
12,000. You're doing versus the 12,000 wanting to do a call. So, make a long story short, in layman's term, you got more people right now betting against it going up than going down, according to the market makers. But that's all, that's all speculative. No one knows what it's going to do. But that's where they're at right now.
I hear you. I hear you very much so. But the thing is number one, I'm not a big options player in the first place, but I don't look at running an option on anything unless I see a catalyst down the line on it. So I don't really see any catalyst happening for Palantir anytime soon. So it makes you wonder, why are there so many options plays on this unless somebody knows something that I don't, which could very well be the case. So if it's worth throwing that due diligence in to find out, hey, are there any catalysts coming up that I don't know about? But what I'm seeing, though, from my looks at it, is that I have been following it since it IPO'd, stayed away from the big pump, but now that it's been sitting there sideways, I see Palantir as a high conviction play, and as far as high conviction, it's just a DCAN, because I don't plan on doing anything with Palantir to make a quick buck. That's what the cryptos are for. Or the second level cryptos. I don't even look at Bitcoin and Ethereum like that anymore. But Palantir, it just looks like Palantir is on a darn good sale right now. So it might be time to jump in, and then I'll see whether I spent my extended sandwich money wisely a year from now. I'm not talking about a week or a quarter from now. We're talking a year or two from now.
Well, I think that you're going to see it, but it's interesting that those numbers say that more people are shorting it. Because the craziest part is we talking about a data company. They and we gotta. I guess we kind of see it is we may have to think. We might have to use the data. You said what did you say? Like the number was for how many was shorting it?
On the but this is a short-term stuff,
Just
and
short-term.
Right. So sometimes
that's true, but the question is why. I mean, those are big numbers that you mentioned just a minute ago, Stacy.
Right.
So the question we got to ask is, do they know something that I don't know? That's my question.
Well, I think you made the statement that a lot of the hedge funds think that the stock may hit $5.
Yep.
So that could be, the buzz and the rumors in the streets that's pushing that high volatility on the short side.
Yep.
You
called me for that.
But here's the thing. If, for instance, the stock does go down to 5, right? But the market cap is still 27 billion, that's not a bad buy. Where you can buy a company for $5 that's worth $27 billion.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is that it's not a bad buy now.
Mm-hmm.
If it's $5, then look out. I mean, that's fire sale. And that's why I just want to be on the edge of it, if in case it goes there, because it's already too big to fail. So it's not like it's going to be a loss. I don't even think that the people that got in at $40 are fretting right now. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, if they bought long, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the people that did buy long were people that were investing in the company, but they did, they pulled that, they did this one like they did Airbnb. Remember when it IPO'd that year?
Yeah, it came out like that.
They never really hit the market on time, so they did this one the same way that they did Airbnb. Well, Airbnb never actually really hit the market.
until they bought all the shares up.
They bought all the shares up.
until they bought all the shares up. So this is like the people that
Same thing they did with Snow too, right?
Yeah, this Snow. But see, guess what?
Snow is down too.
No, but guess what? Snow is their competition.
Well, hey, okay, watch this.
Where's Snow at? Snow's still at $200, right?
No, Snow went up to like $200-300.
Listen, I track Snow every morning. Snow is down major. Watch this right
How much?
Okay.
I'm gonna pull the chart.
Because I wanted to get Snow when it first came out.
And so Snow is another data mining company. That's why it jumped out here and it went up. So that's why I've been riding Palantir and why I'm with Reggie. Like it's a good buy because these data companies are really down right now. You know what I'm saying? And I thought Snow it went up to like $200-300.
Oh, it did. But
then it don't came down because they were the big players. But you see, worse than that, I haven't been trying.
Well, no, Snow was
yeah, see, Snow went up to 400.
Yeah, it went up to 400. It's down half of it.
Look, so let's see. It started going down in November also. It's the market trend.
But isn't that more? That's more like tech. But the tech sector is down all the way across anyway.
You don't want to look at these.
Well, there is a reason for that, though. I mean, the reason that the tech sector was down was because people were thinking that the whole pandemic was over, and they were swinging that money back into the recovery stock plays.
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing most of third quarter, and a lot of them are still hedging. That recovery plays ain't going anywhere because the what is it? Omicron is not going to last that long.
I don't know.
As a matter of fact,
but looking at his MACD,
Australia just said that they're just going to ride it out. Australia is they're like, man, we're done trying to throw policy at this. Because it's been coming so fast, they're just going to ride it out.
Man, look at all those sellers in the market, though, on that MACD. That's ridiculous.
But the thing is, you can't look at this like tech. You see what I'm saying? You can't look at this because what they do, you have to look at this at a broader scale. They power the tech. So if tech's down, they're going to be down because their innovation slows as tech doesn't innovate. You see what I mean? So you can't. It's more software based. You got to look at this as more in the Microsoft realm. You see what I mean? Like even though Microsoft is considered tech, Microsoft is more software than it is technology. You see what I mean? Just like Tesla is more software than technology. You see what I'm saying? But Tesla actually has a product. Microsoft has a product. They don't have a product. Snowflake don't have a product. Palantir don't have a product. And these are all just data mining companies that they're going to take a hit because they're not getting more people spend money.
But isn't it true if they don't have a product, then you are the product?
That's it. That's exactly it. We are the product.
So they have a product.
Well, the way I look at it is that their product is just like I was saying last week. They make the pickaxes so that the companies out there with products can perform.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like these, military companies. You always want to be behind the people that are selling the bullets. Don't take sides, on who's fighting the war, because the winners are the people that are selling the bullets. Just like, during a gold rush, the people that really win are not the people that are out there mining gold. It's the people selling pickaxes. These guys sell the pickaxes.
Mm-hmm.
They sell the bullets. So when the industry goes back up, I have a feeling that these guys are really, really going to surge. And that's why I'm just sitting here, and while it's going sideways, and again, I try to look at the big picture. And the big picture is showing me a little bit more of a sideways trend. Now, if it drops any further, that just means it's on sale more. Time to DC in, a couple extra dollars. Because again, we have just spent what 20, 30 minutes talking about talking about a huge market cap stock that is selling for sandwich money. You see what I'm getting at?
Right now, it is cheap. It's cheap, but you could follow the charts, and because it's dropped so much,
it's in the buy zone.
You may not have to dollar cost in on this thing, and wait till it gets to the bottom by following the snow chart and the Palantir chart. You can chart both of them
because both of them are doing basically the same thing.
The Palantir stock lost $111. It doesn't look as big, as drastic as, the snow stock dropped $111. So the charts don't look the same, but 111, the other one dropped 15. It was a small amount, but it's the same thing. They do the same exact type of work.
And so that brings us to the topic of the night, cycles. What cycle are we in? Because these stocks, they gonna go through these same cycles every year.
Yep.
Every year you're gonna see the same stocks up at a certain time, same stocks down at a certain time, because it has to. We know that life and the markets and everything. Look at Bitcoin. I can bring up the chart now and show you it was down the same time this last year, and the cycle it went up for a certain period of time, and those cycles are pretty much the same time.
And Franco, you are exactly right, because remember I told you guys about the power companies?
Mm-hmm.
They're up right now.
Yeah.
And they're the same. It's the same thing last year.
Mm-hmm.
Power companies are up, but I already knew that. So
and so
average in.
And so that's why the average in, it is a good thing. But it also, I can't predict the cycle, and that's what I'm starting to look at, because that's why I bring it up tonight, because everybody got to be able to see that these same cycles will help you understand where to put your money at to make money. You know what I mean? The cycle of the market, they're constantly going in the same cycle, the same products to keep these companies afloat. They're going to run for a minute, then they're going to drop off because all the money is going to move to another sector to help that run for a minute. Then it's going to drop off. Then you're going to see it repeat again. You know what I mean? It's never going to be the same wave. You're never going to have it do it the exact same time every year. But if you look at it, everything follows the cycle. In a minute, we got to start looking at summer companies. And that cycle of the summer companies is going to come, because that's where you put your money in for the short term, to be able to grab the run-ups from them same companies. You look at Academy Sports last year. We missed it. And we should have been on it when we was sitting here talking about the Biden plan, but we missed Academy of Sports. We missed all the outdoor companies because the cycle was, okay, well, it's going to be outdoor again. People are going to spend more money. And these companies, every year, you're going to see, like right now, you go look at them, they down. And if you go find, like we didn't do the report tonight, but if you go look at what's up, it's the cycle forward. And if you go look at the year before that, it'll be about around the same time, because it's going to keep on cycling to keep the currency current.
But you got to think about this. Like this chart I have here, that's up, is a chart that follows the Dow, Jones Industrial. And now this is Corona back in March of 20, right?
Correct.
Look at this chart.
Straight up.
See what I'm saying?
For you.
So my point is, what goes up must come down.
Yeah, true.
This right here is a pullback in the market. We had all these market highs, 45,000. Not 45, 35,000 the Dow. Now here's the thing, and I chart this all the time too. That's why it's all marked up. But one thing I can say about the Dow is, as a good investment, if you look back at over time, back in the 1900s and so on, the Dow was at 800 points. So dollar cost average, it could work here if you're prepared to hold it a long time, a very long time, but it could work here. And right now you're in a downtrend. So if you look at all this low here, you got a low here, you got another low here. So we're in that territory right here where we're going to be looking either for a bounce around this price of $202 for this particular trust, or if it continues to fall, we may be headed up, maybe headed down, man, into a bear market. So
well, and you know that's the prediction for this year. You know that like they're already, if you watch the news, they're already projecting that particular thing out there. Oh, this year they're gonna have a whole, like a lot of people are gonna be behind. The economy is gonna slow down a lot because of inflation. So that's the thing about the cycle. Now they're finna start pitching that already, where the market's gonna trade what they're gonna call a bear market, but it's still gonna be money made.
absolutely,
It's still gonna be
absolutely,
money made. Like
absolutely.
they're gonna spin it to the people. Oh, it's a bear market, so people will start having that negative outlook and that negative
Mm-hmm.
thought
Mm-hmm.
process
Oh, the
that
money don't stop.
that the money's gonna stop. But if I can show, like I had a chart that I was gonna show. If you look at it, it hasn't. It's on an uptrend. Period.
Now I want to show you this chart right here. Right now, you saw that the Dow Jones and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is a chart of a balanced portfolio, right?
Correct.
Okay. So this is a mix of the good and the bad, right? Look at this right here. Look at this chart in this quote unquote bear market. So
yeah,
look, you're talking back in November when Palantir and Snow was headed the other way.
Berkshire Hathaway.
A balanced portfolio
still went up.
It still went up. It still went up.
Well, and so that goes to show you though that the cycle of money never stops flowing.
Nah, yeah, it's always going.
It's always moving.
It's always money being made in this market.
Mm-hmm.
And then we look at Snow and Palantir. There's money being made there because you got the same hedge fund investors that are shorting that stock.
Yeah.
Go down.
Both sides.
They play in both sides. So it's not just one side you make money on. You make money on both sides. Mm-hmm. On the put and on the calls. On the buys and the sells.
And then you flip a couple more ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust me and my friends, we have this little saying is you just got to be on the right side of the check. Checks are always being handed out.
Right.
The key is you just got to be on the right side of the check.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, welcome to Next Play Investors.
So check this out.
Okay.
So check this out. You see this? I already had this up. This is where we was at in a pandemic. Look, it's still going up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's still, but check this out. Before in 2018, it was still going up.
Yeah. That's one thing about the Dow Jones Industrial, man. It was $800 and something in the 1900s.
So money is still going up.
And they're gonna always print fiat, baby. Yeah. Fiat currency. They're gonna keep printing. You can't fail.
When you look here, both of them still going up. But this is a whole nother company. This one right. Hold on. Yeah, this is a whole nother company. I actually had it pulled up. But all of them are still going up. And so, with that being said, like I tell you, the cycle, that's what we're going to be really looking at for this year, is like, how does everything cycle? Because last year we was talking about EVs, but we definitely going to talk about EVs more. Oculus, the Google glasses, the Apple glasses, they're becoming real. So tech will have its run. And that's why I agree with Reggie, because tech will have its run, because once everybody kind of, the next phase for the metaverse, the next phase for crypto is to make it virtual. The glasses for Google are almost there. Oculus was a big hit for Christmas. So a lot of people are running around playing virtual reality games. So you're looking at the cycle of it being created where it becomes a big hit. Because by the next Christmas time, it's going to be the talk of the town. And that's the cycle that's going to come, because so it makes sense the dollar cost average in a lot of some of these tech stocks because they will pop along this year. You see what I'm saying? I can't say which one it is, but one new technology will pop out this year. Peloton was the thing last year. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
there has to be something to create a catalyst in the complete overall shopping experience and technology field. Everybody went to working out on Peloton, even though Peloton had some bad press. Peloton became a very, 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 very wealthy and high stock price. It dropped some now just because of some of the controversy, but you will always have a tech company come out and tech companies really can start to thrive and go. And so, it's one of those situations where Plantier, Snowflake, all of them will go back up. And they will pop, and there's going to be a bigger pop. And yeah, they are at a good cost, but keeping it with the puts and the everything else, I think you scared me with that one because I understand how the data work.
Yeah. All right. Well, we kind of got ahead of ourselves, which is a good thing. How's everybody doing?
All right.
Hey, Sequester.
What's going on, Nicole? How you doing?
What's going on, Nicole?
We got Martin back in the house.
Man, what's up, Marty?
Marty, is he?
Oh, my cousin is back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Is he
there?
Yeah.
Is the man of the hour here? What's going on?
What's going on, fam?
Oh, nothing much. Same old same. Charting and doing what we do, making money. Anybody got any success stories? We run.
Man,
what's the success story you got, Sam?
I ain't got no success story this week.
None.
Nothing. Man, I ain't got nothing.
You didn't even enjoy the snow?
What snow?
Hey, man,
What snow?
Didn't no snow get, man? Shoot, didn't no snow bunch up out here?
Isn't there snow in Covington?
Yeah, I built a snowman out of it.
What about you, Reg?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a success story, but I did go to a pretty cool virtual meeting within virtual reality. I shared the link with Frank, and just to let you know, we might want to share that out. Where they met, the VR environment, if you have, Oculus and stuff like that, you can join there, but you can join just on a regular desktop too. You just don't have the full, full metaverse effect. But this is something that is kind of commonplace for me. We had our Christmas party last year in a completely virtual environment because the people that I contract with are located all over, not just this country, but a couple different countries. And so we had a Christmas party. We served virtual drinks and things got a little crazy at the Christmas party. So, but what's cool is as we've been sitting here and talking the majority of the time about tech, you guys might want to familiarize yourself with some of these things. And that link that I sent you, Franco, I believe that they are going to be doing this virtual meeting the second Wednesday of every month.
I'll make sure I get everybody.
And so it's just something that it's not life changing, but just exposure to that stuff and the people. Because it was a virtual networking event. I networked. I met a lot of people online from everywhere, everywhere on the planet.
Yeah, you have like an avatar?
Now we have forms of community. Yeah, you can create your avatar, the whole nine.
You have one?
Mine's pretty basic. I don't have anything special.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it's just business for me.
Oh.
But the idea is, you can go crazy with your avatar and all that. I've seen a lot of people with just crazy avatars and stuff like that. So, but what I'm getting at is that to be in this environment and to surround yourself with this type of tech on a regular basis, this is another good place for you to start. To just kind of get yourself in, get involved. I don't know if any of you guys have like an Oculus or have messed with that kind of stuff, but I know almost every conversation that we've had since I've joined this group has been involved in the metaverse, you know, Bitcoin, all that stuff is grounded in those things. So if you don't have it, I don't understand why you guys are putting your hard-earned money in these companies and you're not participating. Because I only mess with stuff I invest, and I mess with stuff that I believe in, and that's why I'm not part of a farmers investors group. Okay, because I don't know nothing about daisies or about corn or about I mean, I don't know nothing about that. Even though I grew up in the Midwest, I know about John Deere tractors, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, I don't know it, I don't live it, and I don't work it every day. This is stuff I know, I live, and I work every day, and that's why, I remember saying last week, I was like, hey, Apple, Tesla. Now, the thing is Tesla's now become a regular stock. I don't see Tesla any different than I see AT&T now. Tesla had its big run, things like that, but I don't think people are going to become millionaires off putting $10,000 in Tesla anymore. Okay. But it's going to be a steady company that will take you well into retirement. Okay. So now keep my eye out for the next Tesla. Maybe Palantir might be the next Tesla.
One thing about Tesla, though, Reg, Tesla is a software company, is a tech company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We discussed that last week.
Because that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people still kind of get it in where they think Tesla is a car company.
No, we had that conversation last week, Frank.
Yeah, we definitely. And so, that's why I say that's always something. Because Tesla is a very unique company. It was like one of the first companies to present itself as differently from what it is. That's all.
Yeah, definitely. So, but again, guys, just all these things seem to be falling back to tech. So of the people that are here, who has messed around physically? I mean, has literally messed around in the metaverse? Who owns an Oculus, or who's
I don't have an Oculus, but I've been in the metaverse a lot.
Yeah, I've been in the metaverse too, and when I was in there, yeah, I mean, it was just.
Wait a minute, hold on. You got gray hair in the metaverse?
Nah. It's everything.
So you trying to get on me? You trying to get on me when I had the metaverse? You got.
And you had the dreadlocks. He had dreadlocks.
Yeah, you had dreadlocks. You got hair on there. Where you get hair from? Go tell me where you get hair from? Because my avatar got hair on it.
But it was good though. I mean, it's different. It's different. And I watched a movie this weekend called Ready, Set, One. I think it is.
Ready Player One.
Yep.
That movie is.
I think that movie is a very good. There's a lot of stuff in there that are real identifiers, because that movie is almost 3 years old now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is aside of all the Warner Brother, tie-ins, the things that they use, the haptic suits, all that's technology that's in play right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
it definitely woke me up, and I noticed, even with my kids, how they grew up. My kids, they 13 and 14, but they was always exposed to the digital life, tablets and stuff like that. And I couldn't understand, they'd be looking at these screens like they real, and with these avatars.
That's just it. And okay, so Stacy, here's the thing. This is hopefully your aha moment, okay? Mm-hmm. Because I had an aha moment too, because I'm probably one of the oldest folks here. I'm about to turn 50 this year. So the thing is that, well, I'm just saying, I'm no spring chicken.
All right.
I was in college when they were just making the internet. Okay. So the thing is, I remember life before the internet, but all you people, all your kids and things like that, there's no such thing as life without the internet. So they don't know different. Yep. And that's how hard for me to wrap around the whole aspect of how these companies going to come here like Adidas and stuff and sell virtual clothes, and people are going to spend their hard-earned money on virtual clothes just so that they can rock it out in their virtual space. I'm like, so you're telling me it's not like a freebie that you get when you buy the real shoes. No, you don't get no real shoes. You just buy the Adidas and then you rock them in the virtual space. And when you take your headset off, this is the aha moment. Just like in Ready Player One, did you notice the main character? He lived in a slum.
Right.
It was a slum, nothing but trailers stacked on trailers, stacked on trailers.
Stacey, we were talking about that.
So that's what I'm getting at, is that's how this is going to be their escape. This is their way out. And for so many people in so many countries outside of the U.S. right now, they are doing these play to earn things right now. So there's kids in Africa right now that are literally playing these games online and earning tokens, okay? They're earning tokens, and they are making more money playing games, and their parents are working the mines and working the fields and things like that.
You know what else?
That's the aha. And once you figure that out, everything else kind of builds.
Also, it makes the playing field level.
That's exactly.
You can be whoever you want to be.
Exactly. And that's why these kids nothing are getting into it.
You can grow dreadlocks.
You can have dreadlocks in the metaverse.
I remember back when we were growing up, what was the term? What was the term? You had to sling, crack, rock, or have a wicked jump shot.
That's it.
Those are only ways out. Now, think about it. You have to put yourself in these kids' mentalities. So as they come out now, why not buy some Louis Vuitton stuff in the metaverse?
Okay, and the caveat to that is, okay, you buying a Louis Vuitton, you buying Polo in the metaverse, right? That's fine, but because we got two worlds now. We got the virtual world, now we got the real world. So in the real world, we're investing in Ralph Lauren and LVMH, with the Louis Vuitton and all that stuff, to sell it in the virtual world.
Correct.
So think about what you just said. But in the metaverse, if you got in it, you can take that same NFT, we're gonna say it the way it is, and you can customize it and get paid. You can't customize your Louis V in the real world and get paid. Well, you can. You can.
At the flea market.
You can, but you get busted trying to be legit with it.
But in the metaverse, you can take your own Louis, customize it with yours because you own the rights to it, and make it an NFT. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have.
Or you could be the next Louis.
Yeah, it doesn't have, like, if you could, like, some of the best NFTs out there are images of other people's things that somebody just customized, and that considers, by you customize it in any kind of way, that's yours now because you get creative rights now to something because it's changed. It's a digital design that has changed. That's what the blockchain is important for. That's the difference between the metaverse and the real world. You see what I'm saying? That's why the metaverse is so real, because that's what they're gonna do with exclusive shoes. Okay, you bought the real ones. You got right. You know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna have rights to this, but you're gonna have to still pay for it. You see what I mean? And so that's what's so cool about wearable NFTs, is because you can make money off what you buy versus blow money like we're doing now in the real world, where you buy it and it has no value.
Now we're looking at it that way, but these kids are not looking at it that way. Okay, these kids that have grown up with it, or we could call them young adults, doesn't matter. They're not looking at it as a money-making experience. They just want to flex on people in Fortnite. That's all that they want to do. So the thing is, and if they've got that disposable income and they can pay the gas fees, it's all good. And that's why you invest in.
I'm gonna tell you.
Making that.
let me ask you this question, Reggie. And so, do you? I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna pose a statement, and I'm gonna pose the statement of this. Do you think that let's say it this way. I'm trying to say it in the best way. I think the young people know a lot about it, but because it's normal to them, it doesn't seem like they care. But the young people don't want to work. They don't want to work a traditional job. They want to stay home and trade and create revenue streams on online revenue streams and virtual revenue streams. And I think that it's safe to say that the NFT market, that's like the young people. I think they're inventing a
Young
whole
people
new.
have dominated.
Yeah, well, they're inventing a whole new way to make money off things that we and other generations didn't get, because the whole NFT, the whole virtual world, they're thriving off making fast money with cryptocurrency, with wearables, with all kinds of stuff that's going on in the metaverse and designing it. They're really the creators of it, and I think they know the value of it more than we do, because a lot of those young crypto people, they're
Okay,
16,
so
17 years old, and they have a vast amount of knowledge of like
yep.
how they're trying to make money. I think
So here's the thing, though. Let me modify your statement.
mm-hmm.
It's not that they have knowledge that we don't. It's just that they believe in it, because we grew up and we spent more than 2/3 of our lives believing in fiat currency, believing in standard monetary policy, believing in centralized banks. That's what we call money.
Yeah,
I guarantee most of our peers, if somebody said, "Hey, can I?" They roll up to your garage and your car is sitting in your garage, and be like, "Hey, and they whip out a USB thing, and they're like, "Hey, your car is nice. Can I buy your car? I got some Bitcoin right here." Most of y'all's neighbors would be like, "Child, please." But the thing is that there are so many kids out there that, because it's just like skateboarding. Okay, I couldn't skateboard to save my life, but all my nephews and nieces, because they weren't brought up thinking that you could hurt yourself on a skateboard.
Yeah.
And because they don't know no better. They just literally, because they don't know no better, they believe in it. And these kids and young adults now believe in a decentralized banking system. They've lost a lot of trust in our Fed, especially with Jerome Powell and the money printer. They've seen inflation. They're seeing it right now. They are already looking for another way, because this way is not working for them. This is the first generation of kids that are growing into adults that are doing less well than their parents were. First generation in this country, okay, aside of slavery, but first generation in this country
that aren't doing as well as their parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you combine all these things together, we just have to find a way to glom onto it. Luckily, I'm in tech enough that I can be a little bit of a part of it. But for those of y'all that are not in tech, you just have to find a way to, I ain't trying to learn new tricks, okay? If you're an old dog and you're not trying to learn new tricks, don't worry about it. Just invest in the companies that are knee deep in this stuff already. You see what I'm getting at? And then you got your behind covered. Okay. Unless you want to jump, like I said, I can get y'all deals on an Oculus or something. Hey, let's jump.
I'm already invested in Oculus, bro.
So, yeah, I understand, but yeah, you're right. Just like I use a ton of Apple products, things like that. Okay, and the thing is I not only use a ton of Apple products, I'm invested in the company.
Yeah,
because I go with what I believe in, because I use it daily. Just bought a new M1 Mac. It's like buy part of the company. It's almost like having a little bit of a discount, because when you make them money, they're making you money. So that's how I look at it. But yeah, man, let me make a couple calls and stuff. I've got a few industry peers. I'll make a couple calls if you guys are really interested. Hey,
I want Oculus.
We have one. My son is 8 and he asked for one for Christmas. I don't know why. And I haven't gotten on it yet, but we do have one.
Please tell us.
Yeah, you get on it. You
should know why.
Just listening to Reggie, I was like, you know what? I need to get on there because they've been asking me, and I'm like, no, I don't feel like that. So what you got to clear the area? It's just a lot you got to do, and I don't want to have to. With this, with hours, you have to clear the area and stuff like that. And I'm just not into. I'm not picky, so I'm not really into that. But after you said that, I was like, well, I should.
How does he enjoy it? What do you think about the Oculus? Your son?
He loves it. And I love it too because it dies after an hour.
So let me ask you.
You can get stuck on it.
So does he
until he figures out how to attach a battery to it?
Well, no, they have a longer cord. This one, I don't know exactly like which one we have, but there is a longer cord, but we're not going to purchase that cord because it's very expensive.
Does he ever talk about the virtual world at all?
Meaning?
Like the games he playing in the virtual world?
Yeah. He talks about it all. I found it amazing to look at him down there just climbing and touching all over stuff, and he ain't, and I don't see nothing.
But check
I'm
this
just
out.
amazed when I look at him.
But the thing is, that shows you how close we are to people living like in their bedrooms. Just
right. I'm just amazed that at 8 years old he asked for that for Christmas, and I'm just like, wow.
So think of it. In another 10 years. Him and all his friends, okay, will be of buying age. They'll be able to get credit cards. They'll be able to buy stuff, and they'll have part-time jobs, things like that. Where do you think they're going to be spending that money?
On there, because he asks me all the time.
Well,
especially he's giving the Roblox.
But not even that's a question.
All the time.
One of his or a couple of his best friends in the future may be in Japan. Egypt. It don't matter because you will meet any and everybody from all over the world. And
he even asking me now, can he talk to people? I'm like, talk to people? We don't know these people. You know me. I'm just a typical mom. I'm not even thinking outside the box. Like, I'm just like, boy, you're 8 years old. Why would you need to be talking to anybody? You them strangers you don't know, but I'm not thinking about it like.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, it's gonna be later.
I'm gonna tell you like this. They got like parental controls in most of them, so he can't like say too much. But yeah, so you can set up parameters to keep him from really saying too much to like people. Like I say, my
set up screen time too.
Yeah, set up screen. You should really get into it because you can set up like controls to keep him from being able to do too much, like before he's a certain age. So that it'll actually help him out. But that's gonna be like most of the people he meet. That's where they're gonna come from. Like that's the push to kind of make it virtual. So when we think about social media, that's where they're gonna meet their little friends and talk and like, hey, my daughter now even has Roblox parties with her friends sometimes when she's here, where they'll get together on her laptop and they'll all meet up, and it's girls, like little girls, her little friend. They'll be sitting there playing Roblox, and I be laughing about it, like because I'm like, okay, I'll get her Oculus. You know what I mean? And that's why I asked Reggie, but I be laughing about it, but that's what she's doing now, and they get a kick out of it. You know what I mean? You would think some little girls playing Roblox, like, and having a Roblox party where they all on this, like, you can see them on the computer, and they all playing and talking to each other, you know what I mean? Like, through the computers that they have right now. So, yeah, it gets serious.
Yeah, that's gonna be my homework.
The dark side to this, though, is this why, as a parent, you should be kind of knee deep in this stuff, especially if they've got it, because unfortunately, again, like I said, I've been around this since, I'm not going to say the birth of it, but since it was on the fringe. And just like almost any technology that comes from the fringe to go mainstream, the industries that drive it.
Yeah. You know it. Yeah.
Just letting you know. The good
stuff and the bad stuff, right?
As a parent, you need to Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all, y'all picking up what I'm throwing down?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Is everybody else across the net picking up what you throwing down?
I hope so.
Just saying.
It's gonna get real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is real, and I got my aha when I really my aha when and Nicole, you're in school, so you probably see a lot of the young kids.
Absolutely.
You almost want to say they're out of touch with reality. That's what
they are. It's well, I wouldn't say they're out of touch with reality, but just think about our generation. We played outside, so we didn't. Technology was foreign to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
However, with this generation, it's different. Like playing outside is foreign to them. So
they think they're playing outside, though.
Exactly, they do.
They think they're playing outside.
Absolutely,
because they are technically leaving the house on the internet.
Yeah, my niece and nephew, they're 8. They're the same age as the Questa's little boy, and I am not a fan of Fortnite. Just because with the shooting and all of that stuff, however, they love it. I mean, absolutely love it. But I mean, I understand there's controls and things that you can set, like with other things. However, but I'm just not a fan of it. So
it's definitely here. And my son, he works and works for us. And he has his own little card, that he gets paid on. And, I can see what he's been buying. And you could just go down the list, Roblox. All his money on Roblox. Something that's just going into the digital world that he'll never get back.
It's just amazing. Even for my niece and nephew, they just turned 8 in January. Mm-hmm. I think they got and they're twins. I think they got about $200 a piece in Fortnite gift cards. I mean, that's all that's what they wanted. To get me a Fortnite gift card. They got me in here getting them a $50 Fortnite gift card. That's what they wanted. So I got them what they wanted. However, I get it. My niece has this little virtual thing she does, and she has a little avatar and she dresses it up. I mean, she teaches me stuff all the time, her and my nephew, but it's just, I got to get out of my little dinosaur world.
Yeah. My 4-year-old would rather look at her tablet at night and watch TV. You just want to download apps.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, download apps and take them off, and that's what she want to do.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you a secret, Sequester. Get them some blue blocker glasses.
What is that? Oh, the glasses for the light.
Yeah, because see, that's how I mess my eyes up. That blue light, it's getting a lot of people's eyes looking at that screen. Like, and they're young, that's the thing we got to really think about. Like, they have to have that protection when they actually looking at it a lot like that, because that light messes with your eyes it drives your eyes out real bad and it mess them up.
Keep a couple pair.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, you need, because that's how I started wearing glasses.
Also, get them on vitamin D.
Well, we taking all kind of vitamins now. We're going into vitamin overdrive right now.
Right. That's right,
because they're not out, because you make vitamin D by exposing your skin to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And because these kids are inside, all of them are going to be vitamin D deficient.
Yeah.
So these are things that these are just fundamental shifts in the paradigm.
Right.
And what I was saying was, Stacy, I could see on your face, like when you were talking about this, you were like, I don't see what these kids see in this mess.
Right.
They don't. It's like, because you don't see the value in it. But these kids, they're like, man, they all got. They spent what was it, like $6 or something like that for that Travis Scott concert in Fortnite?
Yeah.
And everybody's seat was a perfect seat.
Right.
And
it was only $6
as if they physically went there.
Mm-hmm.
These kids, they're at school talking about the concert as if they physically went there. So they see the value in it. you're not gonna see the value in it. It's not your job to see the value in it. Just like it ain't my parents' job to understand, the internet. Okay.
Oh my God.
Just because you don't see it, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there.
But these kids are just they're getting too much. They're getting too much. It's just too much computer time for me, because like my students, they're on their laptops all day at school. Right. That's how they're working now. Like before, you will pull out your Chromebook at some point. However, because we're just in different times now, so they have that Chromebook all day. And as an adult, I hate being at my computer. I mean, I have to. I have to do paperwork. I'm on here listening to you all, still doing work. However, you got to pull back from that computer. But these kids, oh no, they'll be on it all day at school. They get on the bus, can't wait to get in the car, pulling out tablets, phones. I have a kindergartner with the i13. I just think that's $1,000 phone. A kindergartner, a 5-year-old who's about to be 6. But that's what these parents are doing.
I think we got to realize, and I always say this and understand this. They that have like certain things, see, like you got to, like Reggie said, and we've all said, that's why tech will hit its cycling and actually recycle, because it's a big part of everything. Even with the kindergartner with the 13, his life has been new phones.
Yeah, digital.
Even what you saying that, and a lot of them have. I think my daughter I get on her because she's always on her phone, but their life is already on the digital age. They're not watching Channel 2 News. They're watching YouTube.
Right.
They're not watching. They're not waiting to go to BET. They're going to find it on some website. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to spend a lot more time on it. And that's a reality I had to come to, because that's where they grew up from. Like, and it's our fault because we pushed the tablets in their face. We pushed the phones in their face.
That's true.
That's true.
You
That's
know
very
what I mean?
true.
And we did that because we was going to try to
make them more advanced.
So we can't complain about what they become when we made them become it.
And honestly, I'm gonna tell you, the thing is like your kid. You said he's 8 years old. Once that kid becomes 20-something years old and realizes that he can make a living and support you later on in life by putting on a headset or staying home and hopping on a PC and doing his thing and making good money, are you really complaining about it then?
Well, and that's what you have. That's what you really have now. When you have all the jobs that are actually being put out there now are digital-based jobs.
I made a good amount of money this year and ain't left my house.
Yeah, right. A lot of things are virtual jobs. I have a friend that lives in Vermont, and he works for a couple of different companies virtually. And so it's just it's crazy when you realize virtual jobs. Digital jobs are the future. So
but
go ahead,
Sam. Actually, they said that the college enrollment
I was just
down for the second time for last year, and it's down this year. Major. They said the 4-year institutions said that young adults, they're rethinking everything. They're like saying, wait a minute, we're opting out of owing everybody this money. When we can go to YouTube University or get a trade and go get a job making twice as much money.
And that is because
that's what they're doing now.
And this is the truth. Okay, I'm being in the tech industry. Tech industry is show and prove. If you're 14 years old and you have an interview and they say, hey, break into this firewall, and you can do it,
you hired.
You got a 6-figure job. I don't care if you're 14 or 48. It's show and prove. So
I'm sorry.
Your college reputation You know, like
thank y'all for joining Next Play Investors this weekend. We had a good week. You know, we talked about a lot of things. We didn't get a chance to talk a lot about stocks, but you got a chance to see a little bit about the stocks. So
Ivy League, that kind of
make sure that everybody got a chance to talk about it. A lot of times we want to just have a good fellowship where we can sit down and actually be able to know what's going on and be able to talk more than just about the markets and investing and anything else. So tonight was one of those sessions where we got a chance to just talk about everybody just be able to get a chance to, you know, get out their thoughts and feelings, and it's not just a tell session.
Games
want to
and
invite
make
you back
coin.
every Sunday.
That's
we sit
crazy.
around as a group and as friends, and we talk and understand about business, stock, real estate, and everything else that goes along
Talk
with
about
it.
a
Man, I wish we had more time.
things
We're at the
is,
top of the
you know,
hour.
if you're around people that is always talking about these things, you stay
I wish we had
up on it
time.
and you're able to understand what's going
Man,
on.
The wealth
We
gap.
get out of hands. We love to hear your message and whatever you got to say and join the group.
That's
So
the
make
wealth
sure you check
gap
us out on
is
YouTube.
spreading
Join the group
from
on
they
Facebook.
getting rid of the
Poor
middle.
Definitely come
They
back and
getting
check
rid
us
of the
out next
middle
week at
quick.
7, when we start every Sunday at
Getting
7:30.
anybody can
Y'all have a
see
wonderful week and make sure
they
everybody
getting rid of
understands,
middle
you know,
class.
Oh,
We're in
God.
danger
have a great
species.
week. Be a great week. Y'all
It's,
have a wonderful
it's looking
time.
kind
Thank you
of
for seeing Next Play Investors.
rough, man. Because I think, man, if he going the way they're going,